Okay, today is Saturday, April 15. I'm out here at the, well, it's officially called the Eagle's Nest Pond here in the city of Allen. But we call it, well, the pond behind In-N-Out Burger, because In-N-Out's there. Well, you got Cane's here, and then you got Cheddar's, but mainly say In-N-Out. So it's the pond behind In-N-Out Burger. And today I got the impromptu fly. It's gonna be a lot of noise, probably some wind noise here, so I'm gonna try speaking up this round. And we're also simulcasting as a podcast, so I'll have to do a lot of more describing things as I fish this pond. So this is the pond behind In-N-Out Burger. I'm using that impromptu fly. That's the one that has 2 marabou plumes, some chenille, and lead wire wraps. And the pole, or the gear I'm using today, it's a Orvis something. Let's see, SL1, Hydros SL1. I got the Max Catch Performance nymph rod. It's a 2-weight, 10 foot, and on it I have a Trout Max shooting head right here that transitions to some laser line. All right, and I call this my discount switch rod because it feels like I'm casting a switch rod, and I take advantage of it using that shooting head. It feels a little heavy and it's kind of slow, but it definitely can cast, especially with these windy conditions that we have right now. And I'm pretty much gonna work the bank and do like I did the other day at our local lake, Bethany Lake's just right down the road as well. And just kind of pop in and out in the different bank and describe what I do. So we'll start out over here on the north side of the pond. We're facing into the wind, and I'm gonna first work this little culvert. There's actually a little drainage deal here. It's kind of deep, then it kind of humps up because there's some I guess like a sunken embankment, and in there hopefully we may be able to scare a fish. So let's see if I can get this thing to sink first. Okay, just gotta let it sink a little. All right. And you can see that there's some, well, there's a fountain here, but it's not on right now. And then there's also some fish, I guess, attractant structure. It's those little crappie looking Christmas tree PVC looking things that they also put here over the years. There's at least 2 here, possibly a 3rd one. And then there's a couple of spots that we tend to see some bass when we work this area. Bear with me here as I get this fly to sink. Gotta let it get a little wet. All right, there we go. All right, now it's starting to sink, and it rides hook up, which is what we want. We want it to ride hook up in case we run into a bass on bed, and well, hopefully we can scare one up here to strike here. All right, so I'm just gonna work it slowly first, just in case there's one here, and then I'll start working the back. I think I'm just gonna go right, I guess, what is it, counterclockwise? Clockwise, and go from there as well. All right, nothing. Of course, that side has some shade. All right, we'll just keep fishing. All right. And we'll see if we can get one to strike. It's about 10 o'clock today, kind of a late start today. Normally I like coming out when it's just first light, but got a late start today. Okay, it's doing what it's doing, which is casting and sinking slowly. All right, and okay, I got it sinking good. Now I'm just gonna let it go out a little further. Kind of work this little point area. Every once in a while, I'll catch a few that are just kind of lurking right over here where it's meeting up with the shore. Right, and then I'll kind of fish fast here in a little bit as I work the pond. Just trying to take advantage of maybe some movement and whatnot, or some bass that may be lurking here. So far nothing. All right, let's start working the bank. And like I described in previous videos, I'll stand off from the bank before walking up. So I'm about maybe 20 feet right now from the bank, dropping my fly just along the, about maybe 4 to 6 feet from the bank. And I can see that there's a lot of greenery, and I'm just gonna kind of work my way up slowly so I don't spook anything. And then I'm gonna drop my fly right here where there's some structure, like a fish attractant, I think is what it's called, and see if there's anything lurking over there. The fly's sinking really slowly. I got 2 really heavy marabou plumes, and I'm hoping that something will strike here shortly. Okay, just kind of drifting real slow, nothing there. Casting further out now. I'll just kind of do some twitching and see what we can do to entice them. All right, nothing. All right, so now I'm going to work to my right, and I'm going to cast in that direction at acute angles to the pond as I work my way along, so I don't spook anything, and I work the area that I'm going to walk shortly. And the fly's sinking really slow. I thought it'd sink a little bit faster, but no, it's sinking slow. So I may be fishing the upper part of the water column for the most part, which, hey, that's fine. All right, again working my way over, and then I may switch over to some smaller flies, see if I can work this one area that I tend to see bluegill and whatnot. All right, just keep casting away. See if we can get one to strike. I'm going to give it some movement now, sort of like a little swimming fish deal. The other day we were getting most of our hits as the fly hit the water versus on the retrieve. Don't know what it's going to be like here today. And there's a lot of vegetation up close to the bank, so I'm not able to work the fly as close as I normally like. But hey, maybe there's something over here lurking a little bit further out. And then just down the road from us is Cabela's, and just in front of us is the Allen Civic Center, or whatever center. I think it's got the arena, the ice rink, and where the hockey team. There's a hockey team here in Allen where they host their games. And I'm just again working my way along, dropping the fly here and there. I don't see any beds so far. Got my polarized glasses on, and yeah, I don't see any beds so far. Okay, nothing. There's something that may be a bed. I'm gonna let it sink a little. Nope, I don't see anything. Oh, I just scared up something. It boiled up nicely. It was in the greenery too, so maybe that was a bass, maybe it was a turtle. All right, we'll just keep working our way over. Not having to do much false casting using this little shooting head. It's the Rio Trout Max shooting head. And it's mainly real easy just to pop our lure along the, or in this case our fishing fly, along the bank as we work the area. I do have a slight twist in the line that I need to take care of. All right, let's keep working our way over. All right, let's see. All right, there's a little culvert here. I've caught bass over the years just by that culvert, so Let me see if I can kind of toss it nearby and see if something will strike. Work it along the bank here. Describe what I'm doing. I'm just kind of casting toward this one culvert, little drainage deal that feeds into the pond, and I'm letting my fly sink really slow right now, and I'm hoping that something will strike it. Right now just watching the line, paying attention for any of that indication of a strike. Let's see if I can get it right in the mouth of that drainage deal. All right, I got it sinking right in front of it. Watching the line. See if something will take it here shortly. Doesn't look like it. All right, well, we'll keep going though. And like I was saying, I may switch over to another fly, maybe put an indicator on as well, as it doesn't seem like the bass want to play with the impromptu fly. But let's kind of work this area real quick and see. All right, here we go. Let's let it sink really slow. Pop it along. Watching for a strike. Nothing yet. Still nothing. Dragging it slow. Yeah, nothing yet. Okay. And I've known there's a few bluegill here that usually tend in this area, so I'm kind of thinking I need a switch and try working them, at least get some action going here on the live stream. Let me try this fly just a little bit more real quick, just to see if something will strike. It is later in the morning, about 10 plus a.m. So, and as you can see, this little discount switch rod, I call it, really can yank a fly out there. So here, I'll show you real quick. I'll take out a bunch of that laser line out, and what I'll do is I'll load the rod by going forward, backward, and then shoot it out, and there it goes. Took up all the line that I had on the ground here. Didn't take much power at all to get it going, and right now nothing wants to fly, so I think I need to fix that situation and switch off to another fishing fly. So let's do that. Who knows, maybe they just don't want that today, but definitely want to kind of verify that maybe there's a bed of bluegill here lurking where I've seen them over the years. So bear with me as I make a change real quick. So I'm gonna pop this guy off. This is the impromptu fly right there, size 8 hook, 2 plumes, some chenille, lead wire wraps, and I'm gonna switch it out with, what should I switch it out with? Okay, let's make sure I'm still live. Yep. All right, just the Guadalupe has always been good here. The near deer, it's always been a good one also. So now let's try the near deer. Put a near deer on, I'll put the indicator, and let's see if we can scare up some of these bluegill that may be lurking here. I'm hoping that, as I've seen in some other ponds in the area, I'm hoping that these bluegill are starting to build their nests and beds and whatnot, and we'll be able to have some fun with them. So let me go tie this on here real quick. This is the olive near deer, sort of like a olive woolly bugger. Just has a jig head for the hook instead of a jig head hook instead of a traditional streamer fly hook, and it gives it that extra weight to get it down quick enough, and you can fish it with or without an indicator. I'm going to use an indicator mainly because I'm trying to target what I think are some bluegill that may be in the area. So let's go ahead and start out with about 3 feet of line, and I'll put the indicator on and let's go fish it here shortly. So indicator I'm using is a cork strike indicator. It's the one that's made out of cork and has a rubber gasket that secures the line and the indicator pretty nicely. I don't usually see it slip when I use it, and there you go. All right, about 3 feet under. Just gonna pop it out here, and I'm gonna let the wind kind of take care of the action on this one. So it's gonna pop it out right there, and it's gonna let it drift along, and hopefully we'll be able to get a strike here shortly. Okay, and there's a pretty good wind. Let's go off to the right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of twitch it along and see if we can get something to strike. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. All right, and one thing to keep in mind when you're using a strike indicator is, I see a lot of times where folks are starting out and they'll come out with this, put a strike indicator on, it'll be this huge thing. I mean, really big. And in most cases, you want to use the smallest indicator you can to still keep your fly going in the correct depth that you're fishing. If it goes under down, you definitely need to go bigger in the fly, or correction, bigger in the indicator. But yeah, try going with a indicator that is matched to the fly. Kind of stray away from a huge one, a big one. I think I've seen some that are like 1 inch diameter. It's way too big for this fly that I'm using right now. Okay, I'm just gonna let it drift along, do a little twitch here and there, maybe see if something will take, and if not, I'm gonna pop it out further. Kind of tending to this drainage deal because I've usually gotten a fish there. There's a hit. There he goes. Yeah, he hit it. A blue gully. All right, cool. All right, he just barely hit it. Just saw the little tagging, shaking of the indicator, and then he took it under. So, oh, and so I set the hook. Let me grab him real quick, show you what he got. And this is one of the smaller ones here. There's actually some pretty good sized ones that I've seen here over the years. All right, success. We didn't strike out. All right, let's see if there's some more that want to play. And what's cool about this is, although I'll be catching these bluegill, oftentimes a bass will strike as well. Even though it's a small fly, you're surprised at how many bass want to take this little fly. And I would say it's a size 10. Yeah, it's a size 10 hook. And for those listening on the podcast, all I'm doing is casting short casts, about maybe the length of my rod, which is 10 feet. So I'm fishing about maybe 20 feet in front of me. And I'm just kind of working one portion of the pond with a near deer, olive near deer, under a strike indicator, about 3 foot under the strike indicator. And I'm just kind of letting the fly and the indicator drift along with the wind, imparting a few twitches here and there, like so. And I'm listening or watching for indication of a strike. And that strike could be, oh, there we go, I just went under. It could be a hard hit that just happened where it took it completely under. Other cases, it could just be a little shake, where a little indicator just kind of barely shakes. And other times when you see it drifted along and it's just keeping a smooth, there's another hit. It's just keeping a smooth, kind of just drifting along at a easy pace, steady pace, and then all of a sudden it stops. That could be a strike or indication of a strike as well. So I guess the advice is, at least what works for me, is when in doubt, set the hook. All right, looks like a strike, set the hook. If it isn't a strike, just cast again. If it is a strike, you may have something on the end of your line. All right, something's kind of playing with that one. Oh no, I think I got some junk on there. Let me cast it out further out, still keeping about 10 foot of line on the end of my line, rod, and really just working a short section. So if you ever think about fly fishing where you see these guys casting really far out, well, you don't really need to cast that far to catch fish. In most cases, when I fish this pond, I don't tend to cast long distance out in front of me. I'm really fishing the area closer to the bank. I may do a long cast where I'm casting, again, targeting something that's maybe 10 to 20 feet off the bank. But for the most part, I've come out here before and just fished on purpose, putting a little rubber band here, holding it in place, and fishing with basically the length of my rod plus another length of line past my rod, and I've been able to have no issue catching a fish or two. All right, little suggestion from an average Joe fisherman. Again, I'm not the expert. I just am an avid fisherman who loves to fish and can easily talk about fishing as fish, and well, do fishing related things all day. And right now we're doing fishing related things. We're at the In-N-Out pond, because In-N-Out Burger is just that way over here in Allen. And right now we're just really playing with bluegills at this point. I had a impromptu fly that I made on a whim the other day, and was hoping to see if I could get some bass stripe, but I did start out late. Normally I'll come out here at first light instead of, oh, there's a hit. Yeah, oh, you hit it again. Something seems to be lurking in this one corner here. There's a hit. Oh, you hit it again. All right, suspecting it's those bluegill. All right, and if you can't see what I'm seeing as indication of strike, those last two strikes was a definite taking the indicator under, so nothing subtle about it. They just hit it hard. I just missed it. User error at that point. Okay, just kind of toss it back out again, let it do its thing, let it sink, and see what happens. I'll try talking louder. There is some wind, and the wind cover on the mic on this isn't as good as the one that I had before, so I'm hoping that maybe you can at least hear one. Oh, there's the hit. There he goes, right there. That one was a strike. Didn't take it quite under, just shook it, and then I set the hook, and there he is. Another blue golly, about the size of my palm. So let me go bring it up here real quick. Right there. He's got a little shoulder on him there. Look at this guy. Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, a little brugale, bruiser, bluegill, brugale. Nice. Okay, so that's two basically caught, oh, I'd say within about 2 feet of where I caught the other. So what does that mean to me? Well, most likely there's a bed of them here. There's more than one, and they're just kind of congregating in this area. There's another hit. Okay, so let's go and take it out just a little bit further and see if we can locate maybe where the rest of the area that they're bedding in would be. So definitely getting hits over here closer in, about maybe 3-4 feet off the bank. I'm standing off to the right of that location, and really haven't used much line on my fly rod, even though it's I call it the discount switch rod that has the capability of getting some pretty good casts. Right now I'm just pretty much using it, well, maybe Tenkara style. I could probably put a rubber band on the end of this and just let it do its thing and still get where I need to cast. Let me just go ahead and see if we can get another one to strike over here in the spot. And had two quick strikes where it took it under the indicator, and then I had this subtle strike that kind of shook it, and then I set the hook. So here I'm getting some indication of a strike, or it may be on the bottom. I think it may be on the bottom. Yeah, that one sunk too slow. Okay, we'll just kind of drifted. Oh, something just moved to my right. Well, let's do this. Anytime you see some movement to in the water, it's okay to cast to it. see maybe they aren't interested in your fly as well. A lot of times it'll be a turtle, but hey, I've thought it was a turtle and have caught. Oh, something just moved over here, right on the surface. I don't know what it was. I've had a bass strike, not my fly, but it was a dragonfly that was swimming. I think I got a video of it where it's slow motion shot, where I was just walking the bank and he came up and jumped clear out of the water to eat this one dragonfly. Check that out when you get a chance. I don't know what it is in my channel. Dragonfly bass. Do dragonfly COAF and you might be able to see that video. It's a little shorts video, but definitely see a bass jumping out of the water going for a dragonfly. Okay, all right, so we'll mark this spot knowing that you can get some bluegill, at least in this section. Now what I'm going to do is just keep working my way down the bank. Going to stay away from the greenery near the bank. Still going to keep the indicator on. Still going to use about maybe 10 foot of line off the end of my rod, so really not much line at all. And I'm just going to do one of these like run and gun techniques, sort of just kind of pop it in, walk a little bit, work our way over. Don't stomp the ground too much in case we try scaring anything or don't want to scare anything, and see if something will strike. Nothing yet. And then while I'm here, I am going to go and cast a little further out, because over the years I know I've caught some pretty decent bluegill further out in this section. So I'm going to kind of test the waters and see. Okay. Just sitting there on the surface. Give it a little twitch. Another little twitch. Looking for an indication of a strike. Yeah, and some folks, you know, strike indicator, bobber, whatever you want to call it. Bottom line, you still got to learn to hook the fish and know when to strike. So, hey, what works? Some people say you shouldn't use an indicator. I myself, whatever it takes, as long as it's legal. All right. And right now I'm using a, I'd say it's maybe a 1/4 inch size, maybe 1/2 inch. I think maybe 1/4 inch size indicator, cork strike indicator. Just kind of dragging it along, letting the wind give it some action. And I'm mainly exploring the area, trying to see if I can locate what used to be a bed of bluegill that have spawned in the past. So they were out further one year, then they came in, then they came out. It looks like they're going to be in this year, so we'll keep that in our back pocket. But of course we got to go ahead and fish still and check it out just in case. All right, let's go work the bank. The south end of the pond is shallower, and you'll tend to see a few bass or two kind of drifting through the shallows, kind of doing their thing. And we might be able to get that opportunity to do it again here, but we got to work our way over there, and might as well fish on our way to where we're going. Sort of like when I go kayak fishing. I'll go kayak fishing, targeting a specific spot. There's a hit. There we go. Oh, he hit it. There he goes. This one actually feels good. It's running on the line. Oh, it's a bass. Bass went for it. Nice. It's going for the yeah, that's the tough thing about these little flies, size 10 on a bigger bass. If you don't get them right away up near the hard part of the lip area, you tend to lose them. So, oh well, I got a good video of him jumping, so I might be able to capture that in the re-edit. But well, like I was saying, you can use these little flies and you'll be surprised, you'll get a nice one to hit every once in a while. And that one hit. That one was about maybe 10 feet off the bank, just over here, into my rod. Add another 5 feet maybe, so right about here. I dropped it here. Little subtle strike, saw it just go barely under, set the hook, and then he just took off. And then I got to play with him for just a few seconds. So anyways, I was talking about kayak fishing and how I will be aiming for a particular location to fish while I'm that way. I'll troll a lure behind me, sometimes a slab and jig rig, other times be a Rapala, rattle trap and whatnot. And what I'm doing here is basically I'm trolling the area by just kind of using this run and gun technique, just popping the fly up along the bank here. And again, I'm not casting very far. If you're first starting out at fly fishing and you could cast the length of your rod, you could be fishing here right now, no problem. I am using a strike indicator. Some folks prefer not to use the indicator. In some situations you don't need them, other cases you do. In this case, I want to use my indicator because I'm specifically fishing where I'm kind of dropping the fly. I want it to sit in that location for a few, give it time for that fish to get interested and strike. If we're fishing without it, it's going to be hard to keep it in that particular area. It'll be out of the money zone that I'm fishing, and I could miss that opportunity on in this case a bass. So far 2 bluegill, nice sized bluegill. I'm calling them brugale, and I had a nice bass that jumped out of the water and threw the hook on me. So cross my fingers, later on I can get the edit on this and show you that it was a bass, and it was a nice one maybe. And he went for a size 10 olive near deer. There's a hit. There's a hit. Okay, that's another bass. Okay, we got multiple jumps on him. And like last time, I lost him because he threw the hook on me. And this time, I think I got him quick enough that I won't lose him. But hey, let's not talk too soon. All right. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bank him because I don't have a net and got him in some junk, and I just need him to kind of calm down while I walk up on him. Here we go. Okay. Nice. All right, well, I got him. There we go. Let's grab him. He's definitely bigger than those ones I was catching at Bethany Lakes. All right, ponded In-N-Out Burger. Here we go. I was telling you about how the hook can get thrown on you if you don't get them immediately in this hard part and you get them deeper, or you just barely get them, they throw the hook on you. The other case is, since I'm using really light pound test and light line, you get a hooker, you get the bass deeper in the hook set, like down in the mouth, the rough part of the lips of his lips or whatever, rub onto your line, and next thing you know, you've lost them. So, well, in this case I didn't lose them, but let's throw them back. Get bigger. All right, well, that was fun. That was fun. All right, and describe for those that just joined or are listening on the podcast, working the In-N-Out Burger pond, working the shallows with an olive near deer under a indicator, strike indicator, 3 foot strike, 3 foot under the strike indicator, and caught 2 bluegill, lost a bass, caught a bass, and I'm using the Max Catch 10 weight nymph rod, and or correction, 2 weight nymph rod. It's 10 foot long, and I'm using an Orvis SL1 Hydros reel, and I've got what's called the Trout Max I guess shooting head, Skagit head. It's meant for one-handed spay casting. I just kind of use it in this case to be used as my discount switch rod, in this case that Max Catch 2 weight. Bear with me for those that are listening in as well as watching. I'm trying to clear the greenery off my fly, and it's been fun so far. We did get a late start at about 10 o'clock, so is when we got started, and it's been a steady action, not a fast paced or whatnot, but what has worked so far, worked the bank. I haven't had to catch anything or caught anything further than about the length of my rod past my rod. So 10-foot rod, 10-foot line, 20 feet. And it's all been action closer to the bank. In both cases of the bass, both struck as I let the fly kind of sink under the strike indicator, and both were subtle strikes. Nothing like a massive hit or anything. It was just someone decided to play with it. And in one case I got them enough to stay on the line where I didn't get the line thrown on me, or the lure thrown on me. And let me get that cleared out. I got a lot of junk on this one here. I got to clear my shooting head. All right. And I think I guess some folks that are new to switch rods and spey casting, when I'm talking about that Trout Max shooting head, so right here is, it's called the running line or shooting line. This is the laser line that I'm using, OPST laser line, about 30-pound test I think it is. And on the end of it is a loop right here. I got a loop-to-loop connection to what's called a shooting head or Skagit head. This is the real Trout Max's version. I also use the OPST Commando head, and it's maybe about 13 feet long. You can see it's very, very thick. This is really thick, and then it starts tapering off to a thinner section right here. It's still pretty thick, more like the heavier part of a weight forward line in this case. And then I've got a floating tip that I've added. Okay, it's about maybe 2 foot, and this is one that I made. And then I've got a nail knot secured to this floating tip perfection loop here, and this is about 30-pound test right here, and that gives me a loop-to-loop connection to what I would be changing out. So my actual leader actually starts here, where I've got that loop-to-loop connection coming off the 30-pound test onto the butt end of my fly leader. All right, and so when I switch out leaders, I'll just take this out, and this all still stays remains the same. And that heavy weight, I think this is a 200 grain. Yeah, I think it's 200 grain. Is enough for you to basically get a lot of easy casting, I guess, or ease of casting, especially when your back cast is clobbered. So in this case, I'll just show you real quick. To say I can't cast behind me, it's going to lay the line on the ground here, and all I'm going to do is just basically a simple roll cast and pop it out there. And there you go. There it is. I'm casting further than what I did to catch those 2 bass. All right, and for now though, I'm just gonna get me about 10 foot of line out right here, and I'm gonna continue working the pond here, and maybe we might scare up another bass. So let's try it again. Okay, just drop the indicator, keep working our way over. Nothing. We'll just kind of keep working our way over. All right, and looking for an indication of a strike. We'll pop it out again. All right. Let the fly do the work. Use the indicator to tell you when to set the hook. Just kind of walk slowly. Don't make a lot of stompy noises along the bank. And I'm actually standing off about maybe 6 feet from the bank. About 6 feet. Let me see if I'm still live. Am I still live? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm about 6 feet from the bank, and all I'm doing is kind of letting my fly go about another 10 feet from there, and kind of sit looking for an indication of a strike. All right, and we just kind of work our way over. Kind of twitch it a little bit just to get it out of some of the junk that I see that's there. Let's go about this way again. All right, so if I'm gonna fish this all day, I'll initially work the bank like I'm doing, and then I'll come back again and do another pass, but start casting further out. And then if I luck into an area that seems to have like a bunch of bluegill, I'll stay in that area till the bite slows, and then I'll start moving again. And then if I notice any change in the pattern, let's say they don't want to hit this near deer or the strike indicator, I'll try to mix it up and see if I can do something else. Either put on, take the fly or the indicator off and start doing some casting, as well as maybe mix up the pattern, try a different color, different maybe a different part of the water column, one that I want to fish deeper versus more on the surface. And yeah, but for now I'm just going to fish this once around and then we'll call it quits, because I believe I've got some honeydews that I have to take care of. But for right now, I'm doing some my dues. All right, I know I'm not the funniest, but I do have fun when I'm out here fishing. So let's see if we can get another one of these bass to strike, or what I called earlier brugale. It's a bruiser and bluegill combined, so it's a bigger bluegill. So far haven't caught as big as I've caught here before. There's been some really nice sized ones I've caught out of here. The ones today so far are nice, but there have been nicer ones. Okay, all right, that one didn't have anything. That's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna walk up over here on this little high spot of the bank, scare these ducks, and I'm hoping that the bass don't spook, because usually I'll at least get some strikes off this little bank. Additionally, over here in this little culvert, you walk up really slowly. Water's pretty clear. Every once in a while over the years, you walk up on this and you'll see a nice sized bass on its bed, kind of lurking there. I don't see anything, but just in case, why don't I just throw a fly nearby and see what happens. All right, let's see. Oh, let's get it further out. There we go. Nothing. Let's go back. There we go. So there's like a little culvert where the water drains into the pond, and like I said, every once in a while you'll get something striking. I'm trying to drop the fly right in front of the culvert, see if something's lurking there. I got it right in front of there. It's sitting there, but I don't see anything going for it. All right, well, we cleared the area enough that I'm comfortable to move on to the next spot, which is right where those ducks were. And we'll just kind of drop it here for now, and as I move up, kind of work the area, make sure I fish the area close first before I get up closer. That way I don't spook anything that may be lurking nearby. Okay, nothing there. Let's go back here. And I know there was a fish attractor, fish kind of, you know, those little spiky looking things made out of PVC that you use for crappie, to attract crappie. I know there's one out here. I think I just barely see it. So we may want to drop our fly nearby just to see. Okay, nothing. Okay, I'm on the embankment now, and I'm just gonna cast it this way real quick. Okay, no takers yet. Let's just make sure the fly is still good. Yeah, he's still good. All right, let me cast it further out. I got into the junk. Oh yeah. So this is the GoPro mobile fishing live stream yours truly likes to do as part of our channel, COAF Field Team on YouTube, City of Allen Fishing Field Team. And well, it comes with all the mistakes and all. So right here, if I was doing this for a normal video, long form content, I would have edited this portion out. You would not see me catching or snagging anything in the edited version. But in this case, because it's live and I can't hide anything, you get to see all the mistakes. So yeah, Average Joe, our motto is learn to fish by our trials and errors. You'll hear me say us and we. Well, some backstory on that. There's actually 5 of us that used to be part of this team, City of Allen Fishing Field Team. Got snagged here, let me grab it. Now there's only one, yours truly. I have a guest every once in a while show up, but other than that, the other 4 either retired, got married, got kids, and their fishing activity has been put on hold, I would say at least 5-10 years. So yeah. Oh, and then a couple, or one of them got a job out of state. So still keep in touch, get a little pictures here and there and whatnot, but right now, in memory of the team, I still say us and we, just cause we are the field team. All right, so nothing so far. They pop it further out now. Okay, so earlier I was fishing about maybe 10 foot off the bank, 6 to 10 feet past that greenery that you see out here on this bank here. Had hits further on the little cove area up there near the drainage deal or culvert, and then I got a bluegill close to there, 2 bluegill. Had a bass en route to this spot, and then another one en route to this spot, and then after that it's been a little dry spell at this point. And now I'm kind of fishing a little bit further out, maybe 5 feet or so this way. Then I'm going to go a little 5 feet over this way and then this way, and kind of exploring to see maybe that they may be staging a little bit further out just in case, and not really keeping it too long in one spot. I'm just giving it enough time for it to sink, maybe get the interest of something, and then I'll recast and move further, sort of like what is that, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, now 1 o'clock, like so. I won't really fish way out there yet. Like I said, if I was gonna fish here all day, I would start out one round around closer in, and then the next round further out, definitely casting further out if need be. There's the hit. Oh man, I missed him. Okay, all right, that's maybe 20 feet out. Little light strike as I was kind of jigging it back in or twitching it back in. Took it under, but I was too slow. So I'm hoping that I can bring that fly back to that spot, maybe get his interest again. Okay, doesn't look like it. Getting a little windy, so you might hear some wind noise. Bear with me, I'll try talking louder. Okay, let's try it again. All right, nothing. Okay, all right, well, before I go further down and work my way around the other side of the pond, this is what I meant about this OPS, or the Real Trout Max, and being able to use this as a switch rod, is how I can basically get a pretty decent cast with minimal effort. And in this case, if I was going to be fishing this later in the day and fishing further out, I'd be doing a lot of these little roll casts, switch casts, as well as I could do an overhead cast and just shoot it way out there. That one went all the way to the end of the line that I had out, and no issue getting this baby out there. Like, in fact, here, let's just do a real quick demo. All right, so I'm going to do a quick switch cast. There we go. That's a switch cast where you set a water anchor just off to your right, and then you pop it out there. There we go. There's another one. All right. So let me go and bring in the line a little bit, and we're going to go further down, still working close to the bank, and then we'll call it quits, because I've got some honeydews and I'll have to be done with my dews. All right, and again, to describe what we're using, it's a olive near deer, about 3 foot under the strike indicator, a little strike indicator matched to our fly. So I'm not using a strike indicator that's big. It's this little guy right here, smaller than the tip of my pinky right there. All right, and it's enough to keep the fly right here, this little size 10 olive near deer, in the money zone that I want it to be, without taking the indicator under. And what's nice is subtle light strikes, you will get to see them with that indicator. All right, let me keep working my way around now. This one, it gets shallow, gets to like a foot, inches all the way back there, maybe 2 feet here. It's got like a shale bottom, sort of like what you see along that bank, that white rock area. And here I'm standing off about 15 feet or so. It's gonna pop my fly right off the shore, 3 feet or so off the shore here, kind of working it close. Just gotta make sure that, hey, there might be somebody there, and we don't want to spook him. I'd rather have him see my fly before he sees me. Okay. And so far nothing, but hey, at least we checked it. Cast it about a little bit further. Okay, just kind of letting it drift along, watching for any strikes. All right, at this point, since I'm here, I'll start casting a little bit further out and kind of work this area, just kind of exploring. It gets a little bit deeper in the middle here, and what that means is you might be getting a bass that's kind of lurking there, and or maybe those bluegill and other fish kind of just sitting there on the bottom, or maybe near bottom. Okay, here I'm just kind of bringing it in slowly, a little twitch here and there, looking for that indication. Nothing so far. Okay, all right, let's just pop it out a little bit further out. I'm gonna let the wind drift it, maybe twitch it a little. Sometimes that little twitch is enough to get one that isn't interested. Okay. All right, let's get it back out. All right, and then here's where we're going to work ourselves around here in a moment, fishing it slow and doing that little pop. Just drop your fly, let the indicator sit, let the fly drift down and wait for a strike. And right now it's kind of slow go. All right. You may ask what cast I'm using. I don't know what cast it is. It's one that I find works really well, especially when I'm using a switch rod, or other times when I'm one-handed spey casting, where what I'm doing is I'm pulling back on the line to load the rod, then I go forward and then back again, and that's enough to get the fly or the line moving to where I want it, where I don't have to do a full backhand or back cast. So let me show you real quick. It's just that right there, and that one shot out past the line I had. So let me show you again, and I don't know what cast it is. It's just that movement. There, I did it again. I'm getting to the end of the line that I have out, so let me take out more line and try it again as a quick demo, since things kind of slowed down. All right, so I take it to the transition of the shooting head to the running line or shooting line, take it back, go forward, and then I release, and it goes way out there. All right, and that's kind of why I like shooting heads and the OPST commando head. It gives me a lot more versatility in casting, especially in some of those tight places. Been to Turner Falls over in Oklahoma when they were stocking it with trout, and that one, I believe that was where or one of the main reasons why I ended up getting the OPST commando head version of a shooting head or Skagit head, is because my back cast was clobbered with a lot of the trees and whatnot that were behind me, and by using that shooting head, I could just roll cast it or switch cast it and get it to where I needed to. In some cases, I could easily make it to the other side of the river from one bank to the other. So yeah, check out my videos. There'll be some information on the OPST commando head. Check out Turner Falls. Easy way to find it. Just do a search on YouTube. Turner Falls COAF. Something will pop up. And then OPST commando head COAF, again, City of Allen Fishing. Choose those initials, and what I noticed, you can quickly see some of the videos I posted of a particular thing. And right now, yeah, you just seeing yours truly untangle himself, because this is that GoPro fishing live stream, no edits. You get what you're seeing, mistakes and all, from an average Joe fisherman. All right, let's go and pop the fly along the shoreline here again, like we were doing earlier, where we got the other strikes off to a couple of bass. And again, just kind of walk slowly, drop the fly, and watch for a strike. All right, I got some junk on that one. Okay, just kind of working my way over. Let the bass or the fish do the work. And so far, nothing yet. But like I was saying in another live stream, how do you know a true fisherman? Well, when you ask them, have you caught anything? Their answer, not yet. That's a true fisherman, because eventually he's going to catch something. Doesn't mean he's going to catch it that day, but he's going to catch something. So not yet. That's the mark of a hardcore fisherman. All right. Okay, let's work around here. This is really shallow. I can see the leaves and whatnot. Got my polarized glasses, so I can definitely see down below. And just trying to get to the other side here. And let's do a real quick cast. I think I may see a bed in one section, but I don't see anything in it. Yeah, I don't see anything in it. But we'll go ahead and cast. Okay. No takers yet. Let's go pop it over this way now. Nothing yet. Okay. Just keep working our way over. And this side of the pond tends to be a little bit more clobbered. But right now it seems like both sides are clobbered. But at least the algae hasn't gone way out there, so we can still fish fairly close to the bank and work the shoreline. All right, we'll just keep working our way over. And again, I'll have to describe for those that are listening in on the podcast, we're here at In-N-Out Burger Pond. It's the pond behind In-N-Out Burger over here in Allen. Oh, let me clear my line. And what I'm doing is just basically fishing what I call the discount switch rod. It's a 2-weight max catch nymph rod, 10 feet. And I've got a Orvis Hydros SL1, and on it as a shooting head I've got the Trout Max, Real Trout Max. It's a one-handed spay Skagit head, and it gives that weight to the line that makes it much easier to cast. And all I'm doing at this point is I'm just working the bank, dropping the fly 3 foot under an indicator, and standing by for any strikes that I may get. And right now it's been 2 bluegill and 1 bass and 1 lost bass. And it's just down the road from Cabela's here in Allen. This is Allen, Texas, in the city of Allen. And formerly this was called the Eagle's Nest Pond. I don't see the sign anymore. There was a sign over there that would announce, or that would describe the area, that included the name of the place. But easy as In-N-Out Burger. So hey, if you get hungry, you got a lot of choices here. You can go to In-N-Out Burger, you can go to Cane's, Raising Cane's. Even if you want to do a little sit down, you go over there at Cheddar's, and then further down you got El Pollo Loco, you got Whataburger, you got McDonald's, you got Chick-fil-A. So yeah, it'd be a good excuse to get some of that fast food if the bite slows. There's a hit. If the bite slows down on you. All right, little blue gale. Not as big as the ones we caught earlier, but hey, he's there. And again, to describe what I'm doing, just walking the bank, stepping lightly, and just dropping my fly along the bank, about maybe anywhere between 6 to 10 feet out, sometimes 20 if I see something. And so far I've caught some fish that way. All right, and it is a good indication that if you do want to get into fly fishing, it's sort of to attest that you don't need a fly cast long distance to get started fly fishing. In this case, I'm pretty much fishing the length of my rod, and yeah, the length of my rod. So rod's 10 feet, add another 10 feet to the line. That's what I'm really fishing right now. And that's what I haven't caught anything further out. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's just keep watching. All right, and I'll just describe again, since we're also a podcast. All I'm doing is I'm going to work the edge of the pond, or the bank, casting short casts, watching the indicator as it lands, and looking for any indication of a strike. The strikes have been pretty much subtle. Oh, look at this. I got a turtle right here. Oh, there he goes. Run away, run away. Turtle. Okay. And yeah, the strikes haven't been these huge strikes. It's been either some real subtle hit, or barely taking it under, and then I set the hook. At least for the bass. There were a couple of good strikes that I had. I believe they were bluegill that was on the other side. But I missed both of them. Mojo was off in that case. Okay, let's see what we got. And then for those that aren't able to stay the whole live stream, what I tend to do is after I finish a live stream, get it downloaded, I'll edit the video so that you can see a version of this live stream without all the slowness in the action. So hey, heads up, and it usually takes me a day or two to get that posted. And all I'm doing is, it's the same thing I'm videotaping here, just I'll either speed up or edit out the slow sections, and get you to the point where I'm catching a fish, or at least some action, or I'm describing something that may be of a useful suggestion for those that want to try doing something similar in their area. All right. So yeah, if you can't stay the whole live stream, do check back. In fact, there's some previous ones I've already got posted that you could take a look at. That was a light strike, very light strike. Holy cow, he took it. I saw it bobble and I wasn't sure that he was in there, and then I was like, okay, like I was saying earlier, when in doubt, set the hook. And I was in doubt and I set the hook and got this guy. All right, fun stuff. Living the dream, yeah. All right, well, I hope you guys like these videos. I tend to like them too, because I get to do two passions. I get to fish, and at the same time I get to videotape and do some YouTubing. So kill two birds with one stone here. All right, so yeah, do check out some of the earlier videos where I've edited them. Those won't have as many mistakes. You know, you got to make yourself look good if you're going to edit your video. And so, yeah, you won't see as many, if not any, mistakes on those edited videos. But you will see more of the action versus more of the, well, yours truly talking. All right, and I'll post those both as a podcast as well as a video. Just look for the edited version. Probably going to have the same title. I think I did that. It's the same title, but you'll just see edited version, and you may see a different thumbnail. But yeah, do this all day. Let's see, I think today I've got to do a cookout. I think there's like a soccer game I gotta go to, and a few other things. But anyways, it doesn't involve fishing, so you won't hear much about that, but I have to do it. You gotta take them for the team here. Can't just be the lone wolf McQuaid in this case. All right. Let's just kind of walk along slowly. I'm not stepping hard, just basically just stepping lightly, footstep, footstep. And oh, there's a hit right there. Holy cow. Well, that was just a pure accident. I just let it sit. Now he's running on me. Oh, we got a jumper. We got a jump. Oh, that's 2 now. Well, I'm gonna edit that one to make it look like I meant to do it. No, I'll edit it and you'll see the whole mistake and everything. So what was the mistake there? Oh, I would say I let him run. I should have just kept pressure on the line and immediately brought him into shore. I let him run, and I think it was more of a surprise. I thought I had caught a bluegill. So I guess lesson learned. You may think it's a bluegill, but go ahead and fight him as if he were a lunker bass, because you never know, it may be. Oh, I have had it though, where I caught a bluegill and a big bass came up and swallowed the bluegill. Yeah. Oh man, look at that. All right, just describe what just happened. There's a truck with a forklift in it, and the forklift just fell out of the truck. And there's the forklift over there, and there's the truck. Truck's going on. I think he's gonna pull over. But yeah, now there's a forklift in the middle of the road, or at least on the side of the road. I think it's in the median. I don't know. All right, well, that's non-fishing related, so let's just keep going. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool, these live streams. You never know what you're gonna get. All right. And you may have heard the noise and everything. Luckily, no one was hurt. Just sitting there in the middle of the median. Yeah, just sitting there. And yeah, I don't see any damage to anyone else. So good news, at least people wise. Not sure how the driver's gonna feel though. Oh, there's a hit. Oh, the pain. Okay, so I cast, I let the indicator sit. I saw the movement of the indicator going, something pulling it, and when I went to set the hook, I didn't feel the fish on the end. I think I was a little sidetracked. I should have been paying more attention. There's a hit. There we go. There, I saw that one. Oh, he's taking it now. Oh, all right. Let's just bring him in. Let's see if we don't make the same mistake twice. All right, I'm finding him on the reel. Oh, he's taking out line. All right, oh, he's taking out line. All right, okay. Let's just walk him to the bank here. I'm gonna try banking him. This is not that big. What the hell? All right, I banked him, but he wasn't as big as what I thought. Sure did act big. Okay, let's grab him. All right, and again, that's what I was saying, is all I'm doing is walking the bank, casting less than the length of my rod, or the length of my rod, and working the indicator and this olive near deer right here and catching him. And what I notice, when I get them on the lip like this, I tend to bring them in. Usually when it's further in, I either break off or they throw the hook on me because it didn't get past this lip area. All right, so all right, a little excitement here so far, huh? We got a little action on bluegill, got a little action on some bass, caught a bass, several bass, or caught bass, lost bass, and then we had a little mishap over here to the right. Looks like there's a guy now driving the forklift off the side of the road to get it out of the way. So good news there. All right, looks like the forklift is still working. I think the back gate on that truck though is pretty beat up. All right, let's do it again. What did I do? Got the length of my rod, so right here. Just clear this real quick. So about the length of my rod, all I'm doing is popping it close. Let's go ahead and give it just a little bit more. So I'd say maybe a rod length and a half now, just to get away from all that greenery. And I've been just dropping it like this, and they've been hitting it. Not really giving it much action at all. Letting the fly do its thing. That one that I missed before this one that I caught, I let sit for a while, and I thought I actually was snagged or clobbered in the weeds and whatnot. There is a weed line, and I think what's happening is I'm casting just past that weed line and getting it to where they're coming out of the greenery and shooting out to take the fly. I can definitely see it with my polarized glasses. It's running parallel to the bank. Looks like that hydrilla-like stuff, kind of grassy looking thing. And I think what's happening is they're lurking on the edge of it, and I'm getting my fly right there where they get enough interest and they'll strike it. All right, so that's the other thing is with this indicator, I'm able to let it sit, versus if I didn't have the indicator, I'd be having a hard time trying to keep it in that money zone, and I'd be having to retrieve it. But instead, I can just let it sit, watching for any strikes. Okay. Oh, there's a hit. God dang, that one hit. That one, I got lucky. I lifted up and he hit it. Okay, and it's a bluegill. All right. Okay, yeah. So you ought to try it. Big takeaway that I've learned fishing like this is match your strike indicator to the size of your fly. You don't need a huge indicator. You want to go with one that still holds your fly at the depth you want without taking the indicator under, and you'll be able to see some light strikes, subtle strikes that would barely move a larger indicator. Plus, that big indicator may spook what's lurking below, because right now I'm just fishing 3 feet under. So hey, big huge thing dropping on my spot, I may tend to wonder what that is and run off. Okay, so we started over there, just straight ahead over here, and worked our way all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work my way around, get to that spot, and then we'll have to call it quits. So we got a few minutes left in the live stream. Again, if you missed the live stream or want to check out the podcast, check it out. I will get an edited video that gets all the slow sections out and get you to the action areas. There's a hit. There we go. Another bass. Barely took it under. Barely took it under. Subtle strike. He struck, and I saw the fly, or correction, I saw the indicator go just barely under. And again, I'm using basically it's either the 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch size cork strike indicator right there. Let me show you real quick. Okay, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I read them. On the chat during the live stream, I tend not to because I'm fishing, but I do take a look at them later. So do comment and chat as you wish. All right. Okay, let's see if we can do it again. There's a hit. That one was a quick strike. It took it under, or shook it, and I missed it. So bummer. Okay. Let's go back this way. Let's see if we can get another one to strike. Nope. All right. Again, I'm just going to work my way along the greenery, dropping my fly just past, I believe, the weed line or vegetation line. And they are lurking just a few feet, maybe 10 feet off the bank. There's the bank, there's the greenery, and there's the fish. And I'm not having to cast far at all. So it does show that Well, you don't have to cast far to catch fish fly fishing. I think if you can concentrate more on when to set the hook and the indication of the strike, probably do a lot better. And then at the same time, as you work a particular location, if you're working methodically, looking at some key areas and matching the pattern as need be, I think you'll do much better with your hookup rate or catch rate. Doesn't mean you'll catch fish or land the fish. Still gotta fight them. And well, in my case, I've lost 2, 3 now, but I'm still having fun. Okay, let's try this again. Just kind of working our way over. Let's see if we can get another strike. Yeah, and I hope you guys like this format. I like it so far. It's been pretty fun. I get to talk fishing, I get to show fishing stuff, and at the same time I even get to catch a fish or two. All right, yeah, we're almost done, almost to the end. Just kind of work this spot here. Most times when it's not as clobbered, this area is really good in the morning, especially in the summer, when you come out here with like a popper or one of those deer hair ones that just work it on the surface. It's pretty fun getting some pretty good strikes on some of the bass that are lurking in here. And there may be a bruiser or two in here over the years. Haven't caught one today, but I've had enough fun to get out here for a few. All right, now I'm casting a little bit further out. This one I know because of the water, little culvert thing, the water does get washed out here, or the bottom, and so I'll tend to fish this one, trying to hopefully getting one that may be lurking down below. So let's just cast out this way and see. All right. Oh, there's a hit. Jeez. That one is, again, a luck hit. I wasn't watching. I was just getting ready to move on to another spot, and someone took it under. In this case, it was a little bluegill. Oh, he took it deep. All right. Bear with me. I got to grab the old forceps. Get the forceps out. Let me get this guy cleared, and then, oh, dropped him. And then we'll close out the live stream as I work the last section of the pond, at least what we're going to do for this round. All right. The other thing is again, if I was going to fish this all day, I would do the next pass, basically going back where I came, working the pond again. But this time, maybe cast further out, as well as maybe take the indicator off and just see if maybe they want to, or they're starting to move more, just to see. Okay, so that one hit. Let's go drop it again. Very subtle hit. Just kind of drifting it along. Go pop it over here. Let's try back this way. Okay. Nothing. All right, I'm gonna go over here now and take it right to the edge of the green stuff. See if something will pop out the edge. I smell some food. I think it's coming from one of those. There's a hit. Wow. Oh no, he's moving. No, I think I snagged something. I don't know. I gotta walk up on it. This is weird. Feels like there's something there, like he's moving. Oh, there it is. I got a log. I got some big ass log looking thing. Oh, it's a branch. Oh yeah, I see the branch now. Holy cow, I think I may lose my fly. Oh man, bummer. I like that fly. All right, I'm gonna have to pull. All right. So one thing, oh, sorry. I gotta watch behind me. Jump behind this culvert. All right. So you don't wanna stress your rod. Just do a straight pull back, and either I'm gonna get my fly back or he's gonna break off. I think I got it on the shore enough that I can reach into it. I don't know. Let's see. See if I can get out this way. Man, I sure thought that was a big guy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose him. Here goes. Yep, there he goes. All right, bummer, bummer. Let's see the damage. Got my indicator still. I got my tippet and it broke. Yeah, it broke at the fly. Okay, well, at least I had some good knots. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and call it quits then. Hope y'all had fun. I did. This is I call it the discount switch rod. Orvis Hydros SL1 reel on a max catch 10-foot 2-weight right here. It's 10 foot long, and I'm using OPST laser line for the shooting line or running line, and then right here transitioning into the Real Trout Max shooting head, one-handed spay, trout spay shooting head. And then on the end of that, I've got a floating tip. That's a loop-to-loop connection right here. I've got a nail knot with a mono section that has a perfection loop on the end, and that stays as is for the most of the season. And then I'm only just changing out my leader using a loop-to-loop connection as well. And that is all for now. Hope y'all had fun. Let me go ahead and shut down the live stream. Check back if you weren't able to see anything. I'll add another posted. It will be the edited version, so you can skip all the slow action and get to the good